as it's week number 2 of Loki. We're gonna talk about Loki episode 2, and what is that? Through the Loki glass, where we're gonna we're gonna discuss the shenanigans, the goings on at the TVA with now Agent Loki and Mobius. So,
All right.
yeah,
I do have to
yeah,
say this.
I'm gonna let you go first before I give my impression. So, Lottie, what did you think about episode 2 of Loki?
Loved it. Loved episode 2. By the way, I have to admit, Loki looks real good in that suit. I have to admit, he looks really good in that suit. First of all, it is hilarious that in the beginning they thought he was BSing and lying about what's her name being outside the tent when she really was.
Oh yeah, I'm about to
Well,
say let's
yeah.
not get too far into
Well,
this. Just
you
like
know.
how about this? Just like your
Okay,
general impressions, not non
yeah,
spoiler.
yeah. Non spoiler. Okay, I apologize. It's it was. I really enjoyed the episode. This show is giving me WandaVision like vibes where it's like it's not what you think it is, but it is really good to watch. It's not action. It's not like action where you're seeing a lot of choreography and fists flying everywhere. But there's a lot of good like drama and different type of action happening, and it's really good in my opinion. I love how they're knocking hard on the 1985 of the TVA.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the, then the hologram is. I thought the hologram. I thought that was just a video, but it's an actual sentient being. It just. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, this is an actual. You know the thing that's explained the TVA in the first episode.
Right. Yeah.
I thought it was just a recording. I thought it was just a recording, but it's an actual sentient being trying to teach Loki, and Loki's just ignoring her, trying to hit her. He was like, "Are you a recording, or are you actually sentient?" And she was like, "Well, both." And that's what he tried to hit her. Hey, hey.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
And then, and also, I loved how they brought back the dude from the first episode that Loki kept messing with, the one that he threatened.
Yeah. What's the guy's name? What is that dude's name?
They brought him
It's
back.
Casey. That's Casey.
He was like, "Hey, can I borrow your drink?" You. Uh, I love Marvel's humor. I love how Marvel loves to like give us little tea leaves in like the first episode or something, and they end the joke. The joke, you have to really pay attention for the joke to be really funny, and I love that about Marvel's humor.
So it sounds to me like you liked you liked the episode. You said a
Yeah, I
lot.
liked it. I liked it a lot.
All right. So my impressions. I feel more or less about this episode like I did about last week's episode, um, in the sense that I like what's going on. I'm gonna say I like the show. I like the episode. I don't know that I loved it. Uh, there is some, and I was double checking with Jen to see if I was if she was feeling something similar. We both seem to feel like this is fun and it's interesting. We like where it's going, but it's not gripping enough. It's to me, there are parts of Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision. I was like, oh shit, what the? And I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And I'm kind of
Hmm.
the leaning on going on the edge of your seat. And I understand that this is not that kind of. It's not an actiony show. There are moments in the episode where I'm like, ha, and I'm like, oh, and or I'm sitting talking to Jen. I'm like, oh, well, well, this must be this and this, and so I'm sort of got my speculation brain on. But there's an awful lot of, I don't want to say treading water, but there's a bunch of points where I feel like I'm watching a show I've sort of seen before. And it took me a minute until I kind of was listening to other people talk about it, realized that it was because the format of the show is very similar to watching something like Law and Order or something like that. Not the judge and jury part, but the part where they're investigating the crime. It's very much a procedural show in that sense, except it features Loki being his awesomely arrogant self, and Owen Wilson he's really great, kind of like shooting him down, kind of bring him back down, and the whole little thing between Loki and what's her name, Hunter B-15. That's the name. Wunmi Mosaku plays. Their little back and forth. That's fun. There's a lot of real fun stuff going on in here. A lot of and the part you said, the time, the clock woman, whatever her name, Miss Minutes. That's her name. She was, it's fun watching that interaction. You kind of want, and it's fun to hear them give voice to the things we were asking questions about. There's questions I had, like, who the hell are the timekeepers, and why do you think they're right, and are we doing the right thing? There's a lot of fun stuff in there, but I was spending half of the episode being like, why don't I have a feeling in my guts like I've got to watch this show because it's like got a grip on me, and I wasn't feeling that for most of the episode. Which isn't to say that it was bad. Wasn't bad, and the end of the episode was very, very interesting, and I liked the way it all played out. I'm just trying to figure out what about this show isn't capturing me the way that the other two shows have. Because I want to feel like you. I want to feel like the way other people are. They're just like, this is the most awesome. I want to feel like that. And what I'm feeling is that this is great, but this is really, really good, and it's got really great things in it, but it is not as good to me as those other two were. And I don't like to be comparing them like that, but that's the way it kind of feels to me. If I were going to rate the superhero shows that I've watched in the year so far, just by the 2 episodes that I'm seeing so far, I would put that above. It'd be below the other 3 and above Jupiter's Legacy. So it'd be 4 out of 5, and I don't feel good saying that, but that's the way I feel. But anyway, those are our thoughts on the episode 2 of Loki, called The Variant. What did you guys think about this episode of the show, and also what did you think about our thoughts and our commentary on the episode? Why don't you get down there in the comments, let us know what you're thinking. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you, hear what you got to say about this show. Thank you guys for joining us this week as well, and we appreciate you. Come back next week. We're going to talk about Loki episode 3. It'll be fun. We're calling it Living La Vida Loki, and it should be a crazy fun time. We're really looking forward to it. So come check back with us next week. Until then, I have been Jen Thépuppét, your resident fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
See ya.